somewhere in Squamish in Canada, not far from Vancouver, from the busy Vancouver. So you got to see interesting stuff without paying lots of money that those who are into doing business in the housing market take advantage of. So from my experience with Vancouver, it would be not stupid naive to want to live in downtown Vancouver just because has some big name or is something famous, and pay 2,000 something dollars for a crammed apartment into an apartment building where you can't really have social life. The neighbors don't know you, you don't know the neighbors, people come, people go. It's so much change in the neighbor structure. Then deal with rules and strata bullshit, and deal with parking and commuting. If you can't find work in Vancouver, because if you are one of those who had big dreams, planning to take advantage of all the amenities Vancouver can offer you or is offering to those interested, like maybe using your rollerblades to go for a stroll on a seawall, visiting some museum or art galleries or theaters, and going to some shows, entertainment, and all that noisy stuff. So if you think that you will exploit all of those, it's fine for you. But from my experience, I can tell you, in a year, maybe two, depends how hungry you are for discovering the Vancouver. In a year, you will think, I'm done. I've seen almost everything. What's the point of paying this much money and just going to work, coming back, because you're done with your discoveries? And if you don't have anything else to do there, you may just go skiing in the area. Even though ski hills are not really huge, and you finish those adventures in 1 or 2 seasons, unless you really love to repeat experiences. So if you are one of those who love to watch the same movie five times, go on the same mountain 20 times, and because you love to maintain the same configuration, the same environment, yeah, that's okay, that's your style. But I'm just sharing my perspective. And about housing market prices. So there are people who are into doing business in the Vancouver real estate, housing stuff, and they take advantage of the opportunities. And the opportunities were created with a very good skill. It was a really good plan that benefit mostly those in that industry, but also without that type of money coming in from the real estate, it was not possible to build this big city with everything you have available there, like big hospitals, even there are not so many, daycare centers, cultural centers, theater, everything that's made with public money. But what I can see that when I compare to this town, this Squamish, where I see a good mix of entertainment opportunities. I can see a good mix of adventure opportunities. Actually, is like a more adventure uh, you can do here than a place for living and for work. So it's not much work opportunities, but more adventure. So it's mostly for people who have some money and want to come in here, explore Squamish area, like go bike riding, mountain biking, skiing and Whistler, flying, lots of flying down the Squamish airport, flying over the mountains, glaciers, flying over the ocean, some boating. I showed you the marina earlier. And so you can do stuff, then you have some opportunities for leisure, and it's built with this type of influx of money coming from real estate. So it's good to build those high rises and whatever, but it has to be a good planning. So if I look at Vancouver, they build lots of high rises, towers and stuff, but still it's very difficult to find a spot for your kid, a daycare. Very difficult to find a family doctor. So the city is growing, is building because of the greed in the real estate and opportunities, and people are coming because, like I mentioned, I started to mention the very smart and tricky planning that was done starting with even earlier than that, but Vancouver Olympics 2010 was a big sell hit. Uh, they managed to advertise Vancouver as besides being a host of 2010 Olympics, but it advertised Vancouver as one of the best livable cities in the world, which was a big bullshit, because they don't show the world the homeless, ever-growing homeless population, the mental ill social problem. So many people are stressed out on medication, on hard drugs. So those were never mentioned to the world because it was a sales pitch. Even now, these days, for some reason, from time to time, I see into some sort of internet news that Vancouver is one of the best, whatever. I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's nice to live here, but depends in which side of the fence you are. If you work hard and you make, let's say, 15-20 bucks an hour, that's you are on one side of the fence. When you see the life and your reality is a bit different, so you don't see things affordable. You see that you can't afford the dental care unless you are being provided from workplace. You can't really afford parking, so you have to take the transportation, a bus or SkyTrain to work, and you can't afford to eat organic food. Can't afford to shop at better stores, so you have to shop at Walmart and those cheap stores that sells crappy products. And it seems unfair because lots of people come from different countries with some university degrees, and they are being marginalized because they don't speak the local language, the English, or they have an accent, and when they go to an interview, and if they don't have a local education, especially, that's a big of a problem. If people don't have a degree obtained in Canada, they have really hard time to find a workplace unless there is no competition in that field. But now lots of kids are coming out, like millennials and newer generations coming out from the school, fresh from school, and they have a diploma, or they call it paper. That's why they went to take these studies to get that paper, the degree, and they can open some doors. But someone who comes from India and have much better education, because some of the countries are 10 times better, have better education system than Canada. Regardless what the news and the marketing shows in different sources of information about Canada, but American education, Canadian education are far behind those from India, Korea, Japan, because we don't see news from those countries because the news don't sell. People who sell media and news make money with the local news people care about here. So we don't know how people live in different countries, different parts of the world. So we only know what they want us to know. It's sort of an indoctrination. So coming back, because things are connected, if you see the life the way I see it, connecting the dots. So you see these people, the immigrants are coming here, they have education, they can't find work easy, they end up working with cab drivers and stuff, or security guards and stuff. They don't make much money and they can't really afford to live in Vancouver. So Vancouver was advertised as one of the best livable cities in the world, and of course people who had money from different countries started to think of Vancouver, even as an investment. So lots of people from China, people who used to exploit, or they still exploit people in factories in their country. If you look at this news, which is a funny thing, this Juan John whatever, some CEO of Huawei, the one who is at home arrest in Vancouver. So she owned a couple of $1 million mansion in Vancouver, but she is running a company, Huawei, and if you want to dig deeper, you will see those workers, how much money the Chinese workers are making and working like robots in that factory. Okay, so thousands of people being paid very low. So their CEO can travel the world. Of course, it's a business thing, but I don't know if she really needs to have a vacation house in Vancouver, a big mansion in here, keep it empty for most of the year. I don't know if it's getting windy here. That's a Diamond Peak, so here it's a town where you can do stuff, and it's much cheaper. It's much cheaper to live here. Oh, the plaque here, 2001, 2014. Oh, I didn't know they were fighting in Afghanistan. I heard of the Korean War, but Afghanistan, I knew people were fighting. They're fighting like peacekeepers, but I didn't know there were maybe a couple of people died in those roadside bombs. In any case, that's some sort of a city hall, and it's a new park. It used to be a park here, but now it's kind of better maintained. So again, you can do some stuff here outside Vancouver, busy Vancouver. So